help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or labor rules, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me. In America, the freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you can say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America.
Good evening, America! I am your friendly neighborhood bearded weirdo coming at you loud and proud as I always do. And with this magnificence upon my face. Yeah, that last video where apparently my voice broke things, that was just a test, and now you are awake doubly. But as I said, I am your friendly neighborhood bearded weirdo, and it's election day. And on this fine, beautiful election day, I've got two people with me. The first one is right here to my left. He is my best friend. He is now also deaf. Yeah. And I heard maybe some dementia's coming in because of the gray hair, so he might be able to run for president soon. But anyway, he is the one, the only, the pastor, Gary Podosek.
See how I get treated?
And then behind the steel curtain, where he beats us mercilessly if we mess up, he is our Wizard of Oz, a.k.a. the man behind the keyboard, pushing all our buttons in such beautiful ways. He is our other friend, Steve Cattell. How you guys doing tonight?
Huh? What?
Now, all right. First of all, before we get any further, obviously today is a potpourri. There's a lot going on that we're going to talk about. First of all, what I want to bring up is thank you to everybody who watched the last episode. We broke our own records. Now, granted, 82 views. Some may not think that that's a big thing, but it's big to us. We had 49. Our next lowest is like 38, 39 views. So this is more than doubling what we've done in the past.
Like and subscribe. Subscribe.
Yes. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also, give comments. Because I don't know if y'all read the gigantic, clipped and shared and whatever the guy did. He just clipped it from one thing and put it on our thing. But his comment gave us major reach after that.
So comment.
Just one comment. Just one. So, and I did thank him for his, wrong comment. But still, thanked him for helping the algorithm. But yes, today is a potpourri. There's a lot that's been going on over the last couple of weeks. And we're going to talk about those things, what that, just, and have some fun with it. Cause there have been some comical things that have happened over the last couple of weeks. First of all, we have a literal nobody as the Speaker of the House.
Well, he's not a nobody.
Oh, he's a nobody.
I mean,
did you know about him?
Well, so to be clear,
he's like the shadow nose. He came out of nowhere.
Well, he's not a well-known House representative, but
been there for 7 years and nobody knows who you are.
Well, I mean, there's a lot
except for the people that voted for you.
So there's the thing, though. That's part of the problem, right? How many people are in there that you don't even know?
No, I know.
You don't know about them because they're not hot take guys. They're not sitting there yelling at people and screaming across the yard or doing like look, no offense, like or hater,
MGT,
Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG, Magic the Gathering,
MTG, yeah, sorry,
yeah.
MTG.
So, but I
still can't believe they tried to sue
all she is a clickbaiter. She just does things that are hot.
Well, I mean, so what's his face in the Senate?
What are you getting? You're not getting any action. You're not getting time. You're not getting assigned to committee duties. You're not actually able to effect any change whatsoever. So, and look, do I think that that's fair? No, I don't think that it's fair that in order to play ball in the House, you have to do a lot of favors, so to speak, and kiss a lot of rear ends in order to move into certain chambers so that you can get, assigned to certain committees. And that's not the way it should be.
I will give this.
It is the way it is.
If you look up Mike Johnson's Liberty score, he has a better Liberty score than McCarthy. Although, granted, that's not saying much. But McCarthy had about
McCarthy's was written in Chinese, though.
Yeah, McCarthy's was like a 49 or something like that. He was in the lower 40s.
Yeah, we like this McCarthy guy. He's really good. You vote for him. He's very good.
Liberty Score? Yeah. Okay, Liberty Score. Basically, Liberty Score is done by the company that now owns. It's Conservative Review. Conservative Review is actually where like people like Steven Crowder originally started, and then this other company came together and they created Blaze with Conservative Review. Now, one of the things that Conservative Review does is that they will take all Republican.
It's only for Republicans.
They only do it for Republicans. They take.
If they did it for Democrats, it would
be all zeros. It would be pointless. They take
anti-liberty.
They don't just take everything they vote on. They take tough key issues that senators and House of Representatives. They do it on the federal level and on the individual state levels. Okay. And you can see how well they score on voting for key issues.
And this is important because when you, as representative, right, or even in your local government, you are going to be approached to vote on certain bills or make certain bills. And when you pass those bills or you vote on those bills, it kind of sets a precedent of this is the kind of things that you support, right? If you voted for it, that means you agree with it or you support it, right? We have this kind of same principle in the House of God where, we have countless times on this show talked about churches and things that are, let's just say, we believe all people are, God's creation, and we believe that you need to show love to all these different types of people and support them. So you support the trans community or the, this gender bender philosophy, LGBTQ preachers and teachers in churches. And we condemn that stuff. Right. Well, if you're a church and you're putting that in your house, to me, that's not God's stance. You're going against God's system of beliefs. Mm-hmm. And so what are you doing? That's your stance. You've proven yourself that that's where you line up on these issues. Mm-hmm. So in politicians, all of their records of their votes, of things they voted on or whatever, they are tracked. They get tracked.
Well, here's the thing.
For the most part. Some stuff maybe doesn't get tracked.
They don't do every little itty bitty vote.
But the Liberty Score doesn't. No. The Liberty Score just goes after the key conservative issues.
Well, it's not just that. It's major votes. Whether they. No, wait. Sorry. Now, Mike Johnson's Liberty Score is a 74%. So 74% he votes in favor of conservative laws on major issues.
And that's not the reason I like him. I care less about that.
No.
But if you score like a 30, then you'd be like,
maybe. My reason for liking him right now is that he is an unashamed, outspoken Christian.
The only thing that I don't like about him, and there's two big major things that have come out about him that I'm not a big fan of. When everything happened with George Floyd, he came out on national television during an interview and specifically said that his one adopted son, who happens to be black, will definitely have a harder life than his white son. Bull.
When they're from the same family in the same neighborhood.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. Bull. I don't.
It's not how it works.
Now, mind you, I disagree with that,
but here's the thing. Now, here's the question. Now, and I don't know the context that it was spoken in. So I'll play.
Oh no, he was basically saying that his son, his black adopted son, is going to have a harder life.
Hold on, but
that he knows better than anybody else because his son's black.
All right, but here's the thing. All right, that might be a little outspoken, but here's the thing. I can say though, having people I know that are black, people I know that have raised very well raised communities, not didn't have hardship, didn't have hard times or whatever, but I'm not saying that there is a systemic racism, and I'm not saying that there's all this hate crimes against black people that are out there. But I will say this, though. I do believe the Democrat system has institutionalized a lot of things that actually do make it harder for black people than it does if it weren't there. And so I do believe there are actual laws and actual things that have been enacted in place that will make things harder. Because let's be honest, we've talked about We've talked about this countless
Well,
times.
we've talked about there is no such thing as racism.
Well, not just that, but the Democratic Party, their whole policy is to enslave.
Oh yeah, enslave everybody.
Those races.
They just enslave you. So they enslave you to the government, not to.
You're talking about the plantation. The government plantation. So it is. Those things can be counted in.
The other thing that concerns me is more his wife than him. But at the same time, if you are the head of your household, you would have stopped her from doing this. And that is his wife runs a Christian counseling program. Okay. They took the website down, or she took the website for it down, because in that counseling website, they specifically say that homosexuality, the transgender stuff is all not of God. It is all sin. It is all evil. And that they, part of their counseling thing is to help people get out of that and get to living their life for God. They took it down because of that. She took it down because it paints him negatively.
Okay.
If you're a true Christian and you believe what you say, you leave it up and you dare people to say anything. Well,
so that one here, honestly, I'll actually turn around. I will bat for that one. I think that one's a little premature as far as executing some kind of judgment, because when you come into those higher political offices, you're more or less probably legally advised in those areas. And here's the thing. I know we don't agree with it. I get it. But he's not representing himself any longer.
He's representing the Republican Party and the Senate.
No, he's representing the entire House of Representatives. Both sides, period. Though we are represented by a GOP candidate, that's great.
Where's your foundation? Now stand on it.
Look, that's what I understand that, but what I'm saying is there might be actual legal things that they're required to do in order to fulfill their obligation to the duties of the office.
Well, it's his wife's thing, not his.
It doesn't matter, and I understand that, and that could be the attachment side. So that's why I'm not saying I agree with that philosophy or I agree with the policy, but what I am saying is I can understand
what I do love about this man. He said it from the door. The minute he got voted in as the Speaker of the House, they asked him about, what's the first thing you think they asked him about when he was on the news?
Are you going to give money to Ukraine?
Are you going to give money to the Ukraine and to Israel? And you know what he said? No, that's not what he said. He said we were going to split it because Biden wanted to tie it all up into one bill, into one thing. Okay. He said, no, we're going to do it separate.
Okay.
We're going to vote on Israel. We're going to set up a thing for them. And then we're going to decide on Ukraine. Now, he did say that Ukraine should no longer be getting money just willy-nilly.
Right. Which they should not.
And he's like, we're only going to give Ukraine more money if they're under stipulations. And some of those stipulations he stated were, we need to know exactly where the money is going. We need to know exactly what it's used for. There will be accountability, or you will get nothing. That was Ukraine. Israel, he said that not only do we want to do that separately, but in order to get the money that we need to do this, we're going to take money from that Green New Deal thing that Biden wanted to have all this money set aside so that we could have 87,000 more IRS workers. We're going to take money from that and we're going to use that to help Israel. So now, and mind you, that got passed in the House. Yep. Chuck Schumer has already said that it's a joke and it won't make it past the Senate. I actually think it will. But Biden has already come out and said that unless you put Israel and the Ukraine together, I'm going to veto everything you bring to me. Now, everybody's like, oh, that means he's going to stop it. False. Here's what people forget. He vetoes it. It goes back to the House. If 2/3 of the House vote yes, they can veto his veto and it goes anyway.
Right. Passes.
So we don't need his signature. Let it go all the way to the top and then shove it in his face when he loses.
The president is not the legislative branch of government, ladies and gentlemen.
Correct.
He's the executive branch.
Sometimes I know that. Sometimes I get frustrated how many times people don't know how our government works.
Because they're kept in ignorance.
Right.
That's the whole point.
I understand that.
They need to learn their pronouns first.
Oh, God.
Listen, they don't even know how many states are in our country, let alone.
I've watched those videos.
It's pathetic. It's so sad.
How many states? Well, we have 51. Because, isn't Puerto Rico No, it's a territory. Well, D.C. is a state. No, it's a district of Columbia. That's not even, it has nothing to do with it. Oh, yes, I know. Actually, I think we should just invade Canada and add 3 more states to the country.
If we invade Canada, there is not going to be a single piece of that land that I keep. That I will. No. You're wrong. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. All the Canadians will deport them back to their home country where they belong. Go back to Europe. Okay, you can occupy France or England, whatever one you choose, and we'll take the land. All right, we'll deport all of you because you're too stupid to live here anyway.
What about the Aborigines?
And then we will mine the crap out of that for oil.
Exactly. But not only will we.
It'll literally become Swiss cheese up there. Okay.
Not only will we mine it entirely for oil, but we'll start whaling. No. We will utilize the land for Canada's greatest thing that it has. Maple syrup.
And we'll make hockey great again.
Yes. Hockey's not that bad now.
No, but it's got Canada's stain all over it. Look, I hate it. Look, as much as I will say this, as a hockey fan, I'm guilty. Okay, fine.
I love hockey.
I will tell you, one of the greatest things about hockey as a sport is the honoring the actual traditions that are in the sport. And one of the greatest traditions of hockey is honoring each team's national anthem. However, I will tell you, I don't like the fact that when a Canadian team comes into my country, I have to sit here and endure your horrible national anthem. I just
no, but you know what I like? Do you know what I like though? Oh, Canada. You know what I love though? If anybody kneels during any of those national anthems, instantly fired, not suspended. We're not. You don't go back to the. No. You are instantly fired. And I love it.
And you know what? Hockey is. This is the reason why, because it's not too big for its britches like the NFL.
I want to play that one dude's video.
It's not literally bought by China like the NBA. I mean, I don't even know why. Literally, and I mean this sincerely, please don't be offended if you're a basketball fan and you're watching this. Would you care if every single game was in China and you watched it on TV? Because literally, why do you go to a basketball game?
Yep.
Nobody watches basketball until the last quarter anyway. Nobody cares about it.
Kind of with hockey.
No.
I mean, I watch, but I'm not ingrained in until later.
There is nothing interesting happening in a basketball game until the last quarter. And that's usually when all the interesting things happen.
There's nothing interesting happening. No. There's nothing interesting happen in the NBA until the second half of the season.
That's like baseball too, but that's a whole nother ballgame.
As much as I love football, you can put football anywhere else because watching a football live
isn't this week? Didn't this past week they did a game in Germany or something like that?
Yeah, Dolphins Chiefs.
Yeah,
my Dolphins got killed, but then it wasn't fair. I can tell you why.
It's not fair.
No, it's not fair. It's absolutely not fair. When did Kansas City play? When did the Dolphins play? Dolphins had to go from nice warm climate all the way up to Germany and go the longer distance. Kansas City went.
Yeah.
And they were there. I want to say Kansas City was there.
Yeah, because they were in another country
a day earlier, and the Dolphins had to take a red eye. Oh yeah, that's fair.
I mean, all right, I'll give you that one.
Come on, man. It's stupid.
But anyway,
if you want to do an international game in the football league, listen, I think it's perfect. Continue to do your games in Mexico. Seriously.
This is nice and warm.
No, I mean, it's
just don't drink the water.
No, just why? I mean, it's a perfect landing spot. And if anybody tries to cross the border, we got a bunch of linebackers there ready to stop them.
And at least in Mexico.
That's a great segue, man. I just segued you to another great topic for this potpourri, all right? A linebacker sacking a bunch of Mexicans.
Wait. Which topic?
Which one? All of them.
Which one? Well, the good thing is that if you're in Mexico and you lose your passport, you can come back into the United States real easily and get free benefits.
So, more exciting news. Things that have happened. The border sucks.
The border sucks badly.
It's really bad.
Oh, wait. It sucks so bad, but at least, and now you have all these places that said that we are safe havens for all you immigrants. They're now asking Biden for more money. And the guy, the mayor of New York City is tried to fly down to D.C. to demand more money, but then had to come back. Adams had to come right back because a member of his cabinet got arrested by the FBI.
Well, I mean, Eric Adams is an idiot. Look, and not for nothing, but New York is
You get what you deserve. Shut up.
New York is a cesspool. I mean, all the liberal.
I mean, Jersey, we're supposed to be a sanctuary state, but
look, honestly,
New Jersey's already gotten a ton of Spanish people.
First of all, it is not actually. It was rescinded, and it is not actually a sanctuary state. For one, two, New Jersey, even though as weirdly, oddly Democratic, kind of starting to turn purple, it is. And as much as we hate him, we can't stand him. I get it.
Look, I will give the devil his due. He has done some surprisingly good things. Since he got
reelected, he's made some not stupid, dummy decisions. So I feel like I'm not giving him that much credit, but I'm just saying.
I'll tell you this much:
he hasn't screwed.
No.
He's kind of he's done things that you go logically. Yes, that's what you should do. That's the correct thing to do. He didn't do a normal dummy Democrat move and go, oh, that's the right thing to do? Okay, I'm going to do the exact opposite.
Well, no, and then the one thing that is a total Democrat thing, he did it, but it looks like he tried to screw himself over so it wouldn't work. Like, okay, years ago, he made a thing that for the state of New Jersey that it was illegal. Well, he did this before the Supreme Court was overturned, the ability to carry a gun. Right. Okay, so he made it years ago, made it illegal for anybody in the state of New Jersey to buy concealed carry insurance. Okay, they weren't allowed to sell in New Jersey, but also at that same time, you weren't allowed to carry a gun back then. Well, then that all gets overturned by the Supreme Court. Then he tries to put in a law that says you can't get a carry permit unless you get carry insurance. Because there's already a law that says you can't have the carry insurance, but you can't carry unless you have the insurance. It got taken to the Supreme Court and got overturned. It got the state Supreme Court overturned it because they said you can't do that. That's illegal as hell. Yeah. So it looked like he tried to do it to keep the Democrats.
That's literally called a catch-22.
but and then when he lost it, it was like.
I'd like to get this. Oh, well, you need that. All right, well, how do I get that? Well, you need to have that.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
No, but that was the thing. Like, and then
I was so tricky.
But he didn't look surprised when it happened that way. It was like he purposely tried to do it to keep the Democrats happy. But at the same, because
he's right. Yeah.
But here's
like he did it knowing it was going to get overturned, but it made him look like he did the Democrat.
Because here's the thing. Do you know?
He knew it wasn't going to work.
Do you know what he has a lot of?
Money.
No.
Pew-pews.
He has a lot of pew-pews. Oh. He is an avid hunter. He also has, in the past, been pro-carry.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting. When you, again, voter records, right? And going back to that previous. Well, it goes to show you where...
Look, I don't agree with a lot of things he's done, but sometimes he does some things that makes you tilt your head.
So this is where it goes to, there's two different things. There's two different concepts. There is a Democratic politician, right? A person who will identify himself as a Democrat, carry the blue flag and do all that. All right, fine. But then you have the Democrat Party. The party has some absurdly insane stances.
Majorly progressive stances.
Really, really, really going crazy. And even in, I would say probably the last 5 years, it's gone so bonkers
cuckoo for Cocoa Puff
that it's almost impossible to toe that line as a Democrat any longer.
Yep.
This is why you have so many of those exoduses out of Democrat states. They're not just Republicans leaving those states. They're Democrats because they cannot stay in that liberal cesspool any longer.
To be a true Democrat, you've got to be
crazy.
You've got to be super far left, and if you're close to the center, they hate you as much as they hate Republicans.
Look at Elon Musk. All right,
okay. He's actually a centrist.
Elon Musk is a center to left leaning.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy invented the green automobile.
Yeah.
Okay, the EV.
Say we go brown.
Right. He has this EV. He has this EV car. He started his business in California.
Right.
The bluest state on the map, led by the most liberal mob known to mankind, okay, who is one of the central points of the Democrat Party and its crazy, zany ideas. He started his business there. It got so bad, he moved his entire company to Texas and has become more moderate to right-leaning.
Actually, he hasn't become a moderate.
He has stayed the same, but all the left has moved so far away, he now looks like a conservative Republican.
Yeah.
Because he had to.
No, if you look at it this way,
gone so far away from
If you look at it this way, they call it the Overton window. What we're describing is what they call as the Overton window. The Overton window is you look at it as a line. There's two ends.
It's this same size no matter what.
The center.
And here's the same size. But if you're here,
this was the center line.
Moves here
this way. Now the center line is over here. But you never changed your stance.
You stayed put. So now you're super crazy.
They moved the line.
But they moved it all the way around.
They moved the line, not you. And that's what makes him super.
Right.
So now he looks like the rest of us, but only he's not.
But here's the thing. I would say though, there is actually with an Elon Musk, there is a very central difference between him and some of those other people who kind of stayed there. Like I would say a Murphy is kind of in that. He's still left. He's still
lefty.
But he's coming off now more central to left than he was originally because of how far out the left has gotten.
Yeah.
But like Elon though has definitely changed because when he bought Twitter X,
still calling it Twitter.
Stupid name. Anyway, but when he bought it, ever since he bought it, and he did an interview with Joe Rogan, and you hear in that interview, he's explaining a lot of the reasons to what came behind the purchase of Twitter and what he's doing and where he's going with it now. And he believed that the purchase was necessary to save this country because of how social media and how toxic it was in destroying the fabric of this country and ruining the key fundamental principle that this country's foundationally standing on, that if it falls, all other things fall with it, and that is our freedom of speech. And so he fought and fights still to this day to keep freedom of speech as the central core of Twitter X and it doing what it's doing now, even though, he's not completely the head running guy of it anymore, and he gave it to somebody.
No, he has made CEO somebody who is really, really lefty libtardy, but every time she tries to do something that's lefty libtardy, he shuts it down.
So it goes.
He's like, you can run it, but I have oversight.
But so like, there's
helicopters,
right? And there's the thing, like you gotta give credit because there are so many things that are happening now that are just outrageous with the left and how crazy it is. But these people who were, I would say, moderate at best, maybe a little leaning left, are now changing because it's impossible to stay on that. Now, this is where I get concerned. I get concerned about this in the sense because the GOP, in my opinion, has now a bigger game to play as far as the party is concerned. Because you can't play the party game that you've been playing. You cannot play the same game as the lefties do because it makes you look just way worse.
No, the GOP is a bunch of weak cowards. They're a bunch of cucks as far as I'm concerned. A lot of them. Most of them.
But here's the thing. What I have a problem, what I think is their uphill battle or their acts that they're going to have.
They never have a game plan.
It's not the game plan.
They have fights, just no plan.
Well, it's not the game plan. I agree with you in that. I feel like they're like the what is it? You know, the whole line.
We're going to get rid of Obamacare. Okay, then they try to vote it away, but they had no plan. They had no backup. No.
It's the animal that when it catches its prey doesn't know what to do. Like Wile E. Coyote. It's the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner. It's like, I finally caught him. Now what do I do with him?
Well, it's like when Gates got rid of McCarthy.
Yeah,
no plan.
That's the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner.
Gates got rid of McCarthy, and it was like, okay, now who?
He had a plan.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Hold on. And this was the problem.
I watched this whole thing. He did not have a plan.
Listen. The Gates McCarthy ousting.
He shouldn't have done it when he did it.
All right. The Gates McCarthy ousting was planning. It was planning. But here's where Gates failed to understand something. He thought that this was a movement and he was chasing the movement, and that movement would lead to a wave of all these other Republicans that were, and I believe this to be true, and you could probably say you're wrong or right, but I bet you 9 times out of 10 it's going to be probably right, but we'll never know because there's no way in heck they're going to out themselves.
They already did out themselves with the way they were voting for the next speaker.
Wait, that's not my point. My point is that Gates believed that he was on the cusp of a wave, and that wave would lead to a Republican,
united conservative
fighting for the constitutional.
No, because
Republic
the Uniparty, that says they're Republican. No, the Uniparty that says they're Republican. They came out and made it very well known. Honestly, as good as Mike Johnson is potentially to be, the much better person would have been Jim Jordan.
I know.
What did it show? They had people who, even though Trump came out and endorsed Jim Jordan, they still voted against him.
I know.
They slapped Republicans in the face by saying, not only do we care about you, we're also not afraid of Trump, and we're gonna vote the Uniparty, which is not voting Jim Jordan.
But here's the thing, and
then Jim Jordan puckered after 2.
Well, listen,
like a coward.
But listen. And here's the thing. This is my point. Gates thought They should have waited till. It seems like it wasn't a plan, but here's the thing.
If he'd have waited till what was it, December? No, November. No.
Would have had a different result.
No. Here's where, and this is where I can't remember the one.
I want to finish my
House
thought.
Representative. This is not Tim Scott. What the heck? I can't remember his name. It's the one from Texas, and the House Representative. He should have waited because at the time that it all happened, they had 40-some days for the budget thing.
And if they didn't do it, McCarthy would have passed that bill.
No.
100%.
That was supposed to be the thing. If they'd have waited till then and McCarthy didn't, and we had all the leverage as long as McCarthy was in there. That's what people don't understand. We had all the leverage. Because yes, Matt Gaetz did it, and he was able to do what he did because of the leverage that they held over him because of what he had already capitulated to.
But he was going to do it.
Okay. If he hadn't.
But he would.
Okay, the potential is that, yes, we got Mike Johnson, who's a 74, way better than McCarthy was. But we could have ended up with somebody worse than McCarthy in there and had zero leverage over him. Because all those things that McCarthy capitulated to in order to get the vote to begin with, this next person wouldn't have had to capitulate to, and we would have had no
But this is my
leverage
point.
over him.
My point is that, and this is the point I was trying to make earlier, I believe Gaetz did, his plan was he believed that the Republican Party, the GOP, would actually ride this wave of constitutional republic and standing on it. And I think he misjudged. I don't think it was a bad plan. I think he misjudged it.
He had no plan.
No, his plan.
Because when you asked him,
he did have a plan. His plan was that the Republican Party would ride alongside the constitutional republic and stand with him in agreement that this was the country was going in a wrong direction, and the Republican Party needed to change its approach.
What you're saying is
that's still true.
Him doing it without anybody to prop up. Because when they asked him,
he did have somebody to prop up.
He didn't. He named 3 people. The first interview that they asked, who would you like to take the place of the House, the Speaker of the House? He gave 3 names. 3, not 1, 3. He had nobody. Nobody was set up for it. There was no plan. If you got nobody to take the seat, you got no plan.
How is 3 people not a plan?
Because you come out with 1.
Okay,
he should have came out and flat out said, we're going to go for Jim Jordan. No, he named 3 people, and Jim Jordan wasn't even one of them. They wanted to bring in this guy that was just another McCarthy punk from, out of California. They wanted to do him at first. And Gaetz was actually for him and not Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan would have been way better. But again, Jim Jordan puckered after 2 votes.
All right.
There was no plan.
Either way, I think the reality of it is you're chasing and you keep saying the same thing and you're not listening to me, and it's frustrating me. I'm telling you that the plan was not a person or a thing. It was a feature in the party. And I
understand the feature in a party.
Hold on. I believe that he thought that they were going to, the people, and this is what I was trying to say earlier. He believed that the Republican House of Representatives body would support that move. And here's the thing. I think they did. I believe they did. But I believe they did. But I also believe, however, ... The problem is that they themselves are not willing to stand under that sword. And that was when it came down to, because Gaetz was able to stand. Gaetz was going to take the hammer, and he did. He did. Look, you hate him or like him, whatever you want. You can say what you want about him. I've got no problem with Gaetz. You can say what you want bad about him, but look, at the end of the day, in this whole House debacle, that axe swings solely over one head, and it's his.
Look,
and every other one, I'm going to agree with you on this, is a coward because they didn't support that.
No. Some of them weren't even cowards. They're not even on the same wavelength as us. Some of them are just part of the Uniparty.
Right. Or they're part of the Uniparty. Or they're rhinos.
That's what I mean by the Uniparty. Yeah, they're part of the Uniparty. And several of them during this whole voting thing for the Speaker of the House, several of them about 22 of them showed their true colors, that they're not truly Republicans. They're not afraid of the people. Because here's the thing. There were several of those House of Representatives, people that voted against Jim Jordan, that the people, their own constituents in their states were calling them and emailing them saying, we want Jim Jordan. A majority of those Republicans in those states that were their constituents said, we want Jim Jordan. And they still said, no, we're not voting for Jim Jordan. You didn't listen to your constituents. You proved to the fact that you, Mr. Uniparty, that all you care about is what you want, and you're not afraid of anybody because you're still going to have your job at the end of the day. And that's the problem.
Well, I mean, maybe they'll get primaried, and that'll be the end of it.
They're not going to get primaried.
Well, you don't know that.
Look at 2020, or not 2020. Look at 2022. That 2022 was the most. 2020
would that or would that not be bad?
What?
So again, in theory, and this is the part that I hate, but these 22 whoever's, if we are sitting here saying today that okay, they did not vote
the way their bosses told them to.
Look, I'm not arguing with you. Stop it. You don't have to get on my case.
I'm not getting on your case.
All right, but what I'm saying is that the result of that, in my opinion, is that person should be primary. Do you agree?
I agree with you.
Okay, but isn't that bad for the Republican ticket going into an election? Because you're going to lose the House. Because if those guys get primaried and they're in states where they're already maybe fighting for a Republican candidate in that spot, who's going to come and take their spot?
I'm
what I mean?
I'm going to sound a little. But if they have a name next, if they have an R next to their name, but they don't hold to the core values of what it means to be a conservative Republican, then they shouldn't be. Then really replacing it with a Democrat, isn't it just putting the same person back in again? So that's there is a change of guard, and that does matter. But because you could go from having a Pelosi to who we have in the House right now. No,
rather have the House seat. That's more important.
Here's the problem. Here's the a major problem.
Stop the spending.
In 2022 had the most ever in the history of this country, the most incumbent House and senators brought in. Everywhere there was a vote, whether it was Republican or Democrat, the incumbent won. That supposed red wave that was supposed to happen that only ever happened in Florida. That was the only place that red wave happened, and actually that was a red wedding over in Florida. But still, it was the only place it happened because no matter how bad it was in certain blue states and stuff, where you thought the Democrats are going to get voted out because of how bad they were doing, they just got voted back in everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and that's just going to happen.
But it was also because, I don't want to dissect that because we talked about that. There was some bad candidate representation. There were some bad supported candidates that were Trump, people that weren't.
Trump has a losing record at this point.
I don't want to get under that either. We talked about it before. It's a wasted subject.
Next topic.
Yeah.
All right.
Seriously. Next subject is, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one. But it is important that we talk about it because it is absolutely breathtaking news and it's fantastic. Will anything happen about it? No, but I would like to see them try. And since we now have a Speaker of the House who's going to move forward on it, and we already know where Jim Jordan stands on this, and they had a meeting.
It's Mike Johnson.
No, Mike Johnson's the House Speaker, but the House Speaker, we know Jim Jordan's role and what his purpose and plan is in this, and his role is very important because he is going to be the torchbearer for it, and that is the money to the big guy is actually real, and it's been found out that $40,000. Now, that might not seem like a lot of money, and I understand.
Oh, but wait, that was a loan repayment.
But Joe Biden is not able to defend himself whatsoever at any case, any point. There is a complete money laundering scheme that is bona fide.
Have you read? Because now Hunter Biden is writing op-eds.
Yeah.
Did you hear about his op-ed? Please stop using my addiction against my daddy.
Okay. So anyway, the point is that when you take government funds
from another government. Now, mind you, they siphoned it through all these different bank accounts and then handed Joe $40,000.
And then Joe gets $40,000, and it's all checked and balanced. And you see all this stuff come up, and it's just like, all right, we joked about how Joe was bought by China. We joked about how.
No, we didn't joke. We were actually very serious about that.
I mean, we joked knowing there's truth to it, but we joked about it because it was like, are you guys serious? Are you guys serious? You guys aren't going to do. Oh, no, you're not going to pay any attention to the money for the big guy thing and Burisma scheme and his son working in Ukraine and not having any experience. You're not going to pay any attention to that. Okay.
Wait, remember that
we're not going to pay attention.
The computer hard drive never existed.
We're not going to pay attention to the fact that Joe Biden, as the vice president, had an executive branch fired from a foreign business entity to get another person replaced so that he could actually manipulate them and basically control them for bribery and money.
That he openly admitted to.
He openly admitted to it and all this stuff. And we pull all these things out, and it's just waves of, oh no, that's not what it means. Oh no, you guys got it wrong. Oh no, you guys got it wrong. Okay. Now, what about how wrong is the actual receipts that say, now my man is absolutely stealing money, and there's no
stealing money.
Well,
he was given money.
He was given money that he shouldn't have.
Yeah, no, okay. Look.
Either way, my point is that my point now goes to, okay, so can we investigate Pelosi's?
They already are.
Okay. Can we investigate all the other crooked Democrats that have been taking money and making more money as they go out, like Obama? And
wait. They still haven't investigated the idiot in California who was sleeping with Asian spies.
Look, I'm just saying.
What's his name? I can't remember his name, but he was always with another Chinese spy.
But the point is that these people have done some really
can we start investigating Hillary over the Clinton issues?
The bleached hard drives?
Bleached hard drives. I'm talking about the people that committed suicide with two shotgun blasts in the back of their head.
So, listen, do you want to be Clinton?
I did not commit suicide, and just like Christmas decorations, Epstein didn't hang himself.
So, when it comes down to it, this whole point and why this is something I believe is just just quick little topic subject. They're going to actually go after Biden and put in this impeachment. No, they're going to. They've already announced it. They're going to do it. They have the support.
And guess what? Wait. And this is what's going to happen.
It'll die in the Senate.
It'll die in the Senate because that's what happened. That's what happened to Trump when we controlled the Senate. Right. Now they control the House, or now they control the Senate. And yes, it'll get through the House. Most likely.
And it'll go through it'll
make it to the Senate and die there.
They'll go through the song dance. But you know what, though? Hey, you know what? At least at the end of the day, we can say that he was impeached. And you know what? Hey, Republicans, you got one. Good job. Good job.
No, I mean, technically, we got Clinton impeached.
I feel dirty about that one, though. Seriously, that ain't an impeachable offense. It really isn't. My man had an affair in the White House, in the Oval Office. Honestly, look, I'm not saying he shouldn't have done it. As a believer, I believe that's that you're.
But he wasn't the first. But he wasn't the first.
The marriage bed and all that stuff, and that's my opinion. And that's
they weren't defiling the marriage bed. He was defiling the Lincoln bedroom. No, the Lincoln bedroom.
The Oval Office. That was in the Oval Office
and the Lincoln bedroom.
But the point is,
no. What it is that it's a Jewish crime. You know why it's a Jewish crime? Because seriously, couldn't get a stain out of a dress.
Oh, stop. Look, the point is that to me, I felt like that was.
I feel like her mother should have whooped her behind.
That wasn't an impeachable offense. Let's be clear. It really wasn't.
Oh no, you're right. You're right.
Impeaching him for that. It's a personal thing. Of course, he was
going to lie about it. He was cheating on his wife.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, and isn't that what we ended up impeaching him for? Wasn't that the actual impeachable offense? Was that he lied under oath?
We already know that MTG did articles of impeachment.
Yeah, she did that as soon as he was elected.
Well, no, she also did that as soon as
day one, election day. Biden was sworn in. MTG,
I know, and then
she literally filed articles of impeachment.
And then after she won her place back into the House in 2022, she did it again.
Yeah, it doesn't. Filing the articles of impeachment doesn't necessarily mean anything because it doesn't get traction on the House floor. But Jim Jordan actually is heading that committee, and there are.
Yeah, but they've been in that committee for a while now.
Yeah, but now they actually have the support.
I'm not saying
because now they have the evidence. The difference is now they didn't. Before it was all suspects and all this. It would have ended up probably never making it. They do need to get some of the support on the other side of it. And now you can't argue. Their own party is turning their back on Biden now.
Oh yeah, they are.
They are getting away from him. So it's not hard.
And they're
to
setting up. And they're setting up
some Democrats in there.
Chinafornia. They're setting up Mr. Chinafornia.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom goes to China.
He went to China and he beat up a little
Asian kid.
He beat up a little Asian kid.
They played basketball
and he tackled him. He charged him.
He charged him and then he tapped him on the back and tapped him.
No, he didn't tap him on the back. He tapped him on the butt.
And then he patted his rear end a bit and
groped him and then got up and laughed
like all the other Republicans do. I mean, Democrats. I wish we were lying about half of it.
Oh, and I love this. He went over to China, praised them for their new Tesla warehouse and everything that they have over there. But yet over in America, he bashes Tesla because he went to Texas.
Yeah. Well, What else? What do you expect?
Oh, no. See, what it was is Xi Jinping wrote his speech and said, you will say this.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you'll go back to California and do as I say.
That's true. That's true. So, like I said, we're going to talk a whole lot on it, but it just, again, is he going to get impeached?
No.
Is he going to get removed from office? No. Why? Because nobody wants Kamala at all. They'll be like, we'll tolerate the last year of Biden, but we want to at least say that he was impeached.
Yeah, all those jokes where everybody was like, he'll die before the end of this. Like, you know what? There's case to say that he might have already, and what you see is an animatronic puppet because they just don't want her involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just if I had to yeah, I know that stupid cackle on the God. No, all right, but I do want to bring up something else. Dude, all right, look, I don't always agree with this man, but I have to give him major props. Okay, have to give him major props for what him and his network has done, and that is, if you all ain't been paying attention, I'm sure it's been hard to see things, and if anything gets us blocked off of YouTube today, it'll be mentioning this, and that is the Covenant School shooting.
Oh yeah,
our boy Steven Crowder.
His investigative journalism
did what the FBI and the police department of Nashville refused to freaking do, and that is release in part the manifest of the LGBTQ that wanted to go shoot up a school and kill 6 Christians. I think it was more than that.
It was 6 people, and it was 6.
No.
It was 3 kids and
6 Christians. Let's just
6 Christians.
It was Christians.
It was a Christian school. 3 kids, 3 adults, and here's the deal. At the end of the day,
my man's released it, and now you got Nashville mayor is pissed.
Well,
the FBI is looking into who got it and leaked it. Hey, you know who did it? It's because Crowder has his undercover investigation people, and they're the ones that got it.
Well, hold on. But investigative journalism is something that I think is a lost art, right? And he's bringing it back. And I think that's probably one of the best things about what Crowder is doing right now. It took a lot to go out on his own. Lately, I haven't agreed on a lot of things. It took a lot to go out on his own. It took a lot to do everything he's doing. But the investigative journalism aspect of his charge is probably the most important part of his charge. And again, like if you agree with Crowder, you don't agree with Crowder, whatever your stance is with him.
No, but this was awesome. We should have known about this months ago. And he released it, and now because of it,
this is my point.
YouTube is trying to block it.
Well, it is, and the reason why is because it's this idea or this philosophy that by mentioning what the shooter was intending to do, and again,
we don't want copycats.
No. It's not even about that. It's not. It really has nothing to do with that because they have no problem mentioning manifestos on any other subject matter, especially when a white supremacist shoots up a black, party.
And they find out it wasn't because of white supremacy. No, it was something else.
The one that I thought was great was the one in Buffalo.
Where they swore it was a white dude, but it was a black guy,
right? And the manifesto went out right away, and then they had to kind of pedal back because they realized, okay. My favorite one though was, and I really, the one I really want to get the manifesto, and I hope Crowder
gets
Las Vegas
this. Shooting.
No,
I still want to know that one.
This one is the one I really want the manifesto for. I want to see the writing. I want to see, hopefully, they can find something like a notepad or a journal or some kind of recordings, maybe, of the manifesto for the SUV that ran over the people in the parade. Because it wasn't a person.
Oh, yeah.
It was the vehicle.
The vehicle.
So I want the manifesto that the vehicle wrote and why it decided to go and kill all these people.
Look, it's a Democrat.
Seriously, I really want to see it because
it's a Democrat.
I'm concerned about my next purchase. I don't want to buy a homicidal maniac car. I want to make sure that my car is not going to go plow through a bunch of people in a parade.
That is the Democrat way of life.
I think I have a good. I mean, listen, guys. That's what manifestos do. It makes you aware of what's going on, and now you, as a society member, especially if it's in your community, you can take extra precautions. Look, let's just say, all right, this person right now, granted, their mental capacity is problematic beforehand.
God,
they had a mental issue. They had a mental issue, and
she thought that she was a dude,
I'm gonna give
she was on
credit.
testosterone.
Hold on, I'm going to give a credit to Bryan Callen, the guy on Crowder Show today. He said
he was on there yesterday too.
Well, he was on yesterday, but today specifically, he said something that was profound. And he basically said this. He said, if you as a person did not have this manifesto, you would not know this information, and it's important, right? Because what if your child has some kind of mental issues or has some mental derangement issues, right? And they're telling you they believe they're this or whatever, and you find out that, if I give them this extra testosterone in their body, it's going to enhance those tendencies. It's going to make them lose their mind further. Well, then I'm not going to do that, right?
Yep.
Or what about the doctor that actually went ahead and prescribed that? That's malpractice because you did not do the investigation to know that that person's not mentally stable enough to take it. I mean, that's important information.
The big kicker to me was when Crowder was reading the manifesto. Yeah. In the very beginning, she's like, "I know I almost got caught several times." That means that I'm curious. Was the FBI watching her?
No, well,
because every time there's a school shooting, you find out that the FBI had them on a watch list and still let them get the guns.
Now, mind you, I know this is in Tennessee, so I understand different places, different races, all different ways of looking at it.
Because you're at Tennessee, right? Baby.
But the one that I caught out of there that I thought was interesting was the gun range issue, right? Because this person purchased all the guns and then went to the gun range to practice on their aim. Well, I'm going to say this: good for you, because that's what you should do. When you get a firearm, you should go to the gun range. You should learn how to handle your firearm properly, and you should learn how to aim at things properly and shoot, because when you point a gun at something, you better be darn well prepared to pull that trigger and kill it, because that's what they're built to do, right? Guns don't kill people. Bullets don't kill people. People kill people, and that person has an intention.
Bullets just make holes.
That person had an intent when they aimed that gun to shoot it and kill, and so they had to practice to get good. Well, all right, so what about the gun range person who let that person come into their gun range and continue to do this? I mean, maybe it's a little hard to tell, but if you're not, and this is some things that I think is one of those lost arts. We have become too complacent in this society to do this.
Yeah,
I see nothing.
It's not even that. It's not even that. You know what? It's an even bigger issue. It's an even bigger issue than just.
I don't see anything.
No, it's a bigger issue than that. Because of the lack of God. Yeah, we'll just say lack of God or the lack of Holy Spirit in the people of this country. You know what we all lack? A specific gift.
Discernment.
Yep.
Well, this is part of it. You're right. I'm not going to argue.
It's even worse than that, because even if they look nowadays, even if you're looking straight at it and you're looking for it, most people in this country couldn't even determine what they're looking at, because you have no spirit of discernment.
There's truth to that too, but I'm going to say this though. I'm going to say, yeah, you're right in the certain groupings, right? The certain groupings of people will look at it and they'll applaud it. They'll say they're living their real truth. Okay, fine. Those are
the people that would say they're deceived look at it and still can't go. Because how many times you hear, "Oh man, they were people who kill multiple people or
but
serial killers. They were such a great person. They were involved in the church," because there's no discernment.
Right. I agree with you on that. This is my point. But then there are the people who do see it. But refuse this, and that's the people I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the people who are deceived or want to just lay into their social unrest. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about the people that recognize something, see something wrong, and just go, "No, that's not my problem." You know what? That to me is where I believe we
remember when New York used to say, "See something, say something."
We need an injection of some of these old. And I want to pull this one video back. I can't remember, but all I remember was, and I think it was on Crowder. I could be wrong, but it was this video of this guy during one of the pro-Hamas rallies or whatever. And look, if you're a pro-Hamas guy,
Get out of the country.
No, first of all, I
get out of the country.
No, stop.
No, you don't deserve to be here.
Pause. In this country, if you live here and you're a citizen, look, and you're pro-Hamas, as your legal citizenship right to have free speech, you can say whatever you want. Cool.
Okay, fine.
Hold on. Wait. But wait. But if you are dumb enough to go to New York City and go ahead and say some dumb pro-Hamas stuff in front of some New Yorkers, that's your grave. That's your grave, because that's what I saw a video of this dude talking about pro-Hamas stuff, and these New Yorkers went straight up in his face and said, you got a right to say that. That's right. And I got a right to sit here and get in your face and tell you about yourself, and you keep shouting that stuff in my face, I'm going to punch you in the mouth. And I'm like, all right. Yes, that's correct. That is the correct thing.
Oh, you know why?
Absolutely.
New Yorkers have a long memory. What do they remember? Islamic terrorists destroying their city, destroying the World Trade Center.
But look, and this is what I mean. And I don't want it to sound like I'm all right. Oh, toxic masculinity, that's best. Or yeah, you want violence.
Oh, you're right. Masculinity is toxic, and it's supposed to be.
But here's the thing.
Right.
Here's the thing. I'm saying the injection that we need back in this country.
It is supposed to be toxic.
The injection we need in this country again is actually the ability to stand and just confront uncomfortable things. Yeah. I'm sorry that you might not like the situation. I'm sorry you might not like that confrontation, but if you're not willing to rise to that occasion and just jump in there and go, look, I'm sorry, but there's something going on right now. What are you doing?
You know what it is?
I'm sorry.
Not enough people have taken a punch in the world.
Call me a racist. Call me a bigot. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. But if I don't get in front of that dude right now and he goes and shoots up that Walmart, guess what? I could have stopped that from happening if I'd have turned around and saw that guy and said, hey, buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing in the back of your trunk? Why are you putting a ski mask on? What are you planning to go shoot up a joint? Oh, what's he going to do? Turn a gun on me? Okay, fine. But you know what? If he shot me in the parking lot, that's only one person, and he would never make it inside. So yeah, one person versus 100 or 1,000 people.
Look, like I said before,
those are the real heroes. The people that are actually going to stand up for themselves.
People have never taken a punch.
Kyle Rittenhouse, absolutely. That man deserves a trophy.
Yep, he saved Thanksgiving a couple years ago. And that was a great episode that we had.
It was a great episode. I'd still vote for him, even though I don't agree with him getting rid of his gun.
No, I understand why he got rid of it, though.
Bad memories. I get it.
Bad memories, and he didn't want to. He didn't want it to become something that people sought out after, like to be a collectible. Yeah. So he hasn't got rid of all his guns. He just destroyed that one.
What about the skateboard, though? Is that on eBay? Can you buy that on eBay?
$100 million.
Still got blood on it?
I mean, I'm just saying he don't need it no more. Slightly used skateboard. Owner no longer needs it.
A slight comment here. True masculinity should only be toxic to the cowardly and the wicked.
No,
it is toxic to them. Yeah.
Masculinity should be toxic. There's a difference between it being toxic and it being abusive. Because that's not real masculinity. Right, but what do you think of things when they're toxic? What do you think of things when they're toxic? They take over whatever it is they're around. Okay, that is what masculinity is supposed to do.
It could also be translated as harmful. That's what they're translating. Toxic is harmful.
Well, they're wrong.
Here's the thing. That's why I don't like the word toxic, because I understand what you're saying, but that's not technically toxic.
I'm going to say the word back at them because
you're taking it back.
I'm taking it back.
Yeah. Like fake news. Like Trump took fake news from the Democrats.
He did. Just like I'm going to take.
He literally did, not for nothing. No, I'm not going to lie. Just like the Democrats ran with the fake news stuff forever, and then Trump got up there and he started using it. They got mad because he was calling them out on their fake news. just like I'm going to take the rainbow from the LGBTQ. Well, it ain't theirs anyway. It's God's.
It ain't theirs. It's God's. Yeah. It's a promise. Yep. It's a promise that he would never again destroy the world with water. Later, he's just going to burn it. So how you like them apples?
Yeah. You should wear your Deadpool costume, ride in on a unicorn with rainbow flag at the gay pride parade.
Oh man, maximum effort.
And just turn around and yell at him, Jesus loves you. And then if you see anybody with a rainbow flag, be like, That's mine.
Right? Just take it. It's mine.
That's mine. Wait, what are you doing with my rainbow flag? It's not yours. It's mine. And just ride off.
or you know what? I could just, take it and then plant it somewhere and say, I claim this here land for God. Kind of like the Venezuela, or was it?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Why?
Don't do that.
Why?
That is not a good idea.
Why?
No, because wherever you plant that flag, it's going to become a drag story time hour block. Don't do that.
Well, I mean, hey, they're letting people do it all the time. Colombia people that are coming over our border from Colombia are taking their Colombian and Venezuelan flags and planting it on our soil, like they claimed our land. Listen, Columbus did it first. It's ours. Back off. Yes, and Thanksgiving is coming, and no, I don't care about the Indigenous People Day. Nope.
It's not a real thing.
It's Thanksgiving. So, I enjoy my turkey, and whatever.
And look,
if you're gonna cry some tears about it, there's a trail you can do that on.
Speaking of Thanksgiving,
yes, that is the Thanksgiving is coming up. And then our next episode will be
our Tuesday Thanksgiving episode.
Will be 2 days before Thanksgiving. We have 2 episodes left. We have our Thanksgiving episode, and then we have our season. It's season finale. We talk about Christmas, end of the year, what to expect in the upcoming year that we're going to have, and it's looking like we're going to bring back the 2 people who have been our guests over this year. We're going to bring that. We may be bringing Mike Beckford and Jessica Podosek back to come on and just have some good old fun on
for the holidays
for the last episode. So
Thanksgiving episode, I can tell you one thing for certain we will be talking about is the how the GOP candidates are faring in the last debate.
Yes, tomorrow. Those of you who don't know, is the final debate. I will say this.
I think it's the final debate.
No, it's
the final prime.
No, it's not the final caucus one. It's the final one before the first caucus, which is in Iowa. I believe there's another one either before South Carolina or there'll be another one after I think there's another one before South Carolina.
But I know Pence is gone.
Pence is gone. This is the part that makes me laugh. For all of you who want to, quote polls and tag polls and say all these things about polls, I laugh because if the polls are really true and Trump was as far ahead as he says he really is, then why is he already crying about it being stolen from him? That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know about that. I didn't hear him.
He already said it at one of his rallies. They're trying to steal it from me. When I lose in Iowa, it's because they stole it from me.
Well, I mean, they are kind of.
No, they're not.
Not them, but I'm just saying.
No. He's blaming Republicans and Iowa from stealing it from him.
They're kicking them off tickets.
No, Iowa's not.
Well, I mean,
Colorado is. We're not at that point yet. Yeah. We're in Iowa first. Okay.
I don't know.
Also, big shout out to Kim Reynolds, governor of Iowa. You got some major cojones. That's all I gotta say. She personally came out and backed DeSantis. And that's a big deal in Iowa because she's the head of the grassroots. The grassroots loves her, and they will most likely follow what she is saying.
Nice.
And it's Trump's own fault because he came out bashing her over the last couple of months.
Look,
this is what you get.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's absolutely true.
Mind you, several months ago, she probably would have came out and said, Trump.
Yeah, but he made a dumb move.
You're going to talk trash. Wrong. You're going to call her disloyal and all these other things.
And maybe
and he bashed her because they did a 15-day and can't have an abortion after 6 weeks. That's what it was. The 6-week bill. He bashed her for that, and he's been bashing Christians for that for the last few months. So that one bugged. But anyway, tomorrow is the last debate before the first caucus. That much I can say. Will there probably be another one? Yeah, but when it is, nah. And again, Trump is not going to be there. Again, dumb move. You need to be there.
I don't think you can anymore because of the stupid cases.
I think at this point it would be difficult. It
has to be in both of them.
Well, and let's put it this way. To a point, I can agree why he's not going, because if he's there, then the moderators are going to ask him questions about the cases.
And he can't because
one of the cases he's gag ordered on. So then he wouldn't be able to talk. So he would look like
he's gag ordered in the one case. He can't even talk about his opponents. So what's the point of going to a debate? He can't even talk. It's like, what's he going to do? Show up there and go?
To To a point, I
Good God, it was great that you were here. Thanks, Donald, for showing up.
To a point, I understand it. To a point, I understand it, but at the same time, this is a job interview, and you're not showing up for it.
I don't think you can at this point.
At this point, but he could have been at the two.
He could have been at the first one, most definitely.
So anyway,
which I told you might have been the reason he's not going to win anyway.
So please go watch the debate. Not because I think that. Honestly, you just need to be informed. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be a ton of mishiva. I'm sure there's going to be more stupid. Actually, this one will probably be better. And you're going to laugh at me, but it's because this time it's a liberal news media is doing it, which means they will probably ask questions that are difficult for them anyway, because they're going to want to make every one of them look stupid on stage.
Right. So they're going to ask dumb questions.
Okay.
So Vivek, Vivek, I'd like to know how do you spell your name with your pronouns, if you would be so kind. And Vivek is just going to look at him.
I bet you don't get the Fox's greatest new question of the year. If you agree with XYZ idea, please raise your hand. Really? Anyway, I digress. So I thank you for joining us on the Corner of Church and State, where there is no separation. If at any point you want to get in contact with us, go into the link tree in bio. There you will get our email address. You can contact us, ask questions, prayer requests. We would love to pray with you. You can also find my handles for Twitter, Facebook,
love handles.
Clapper. Listen, I have less of those than I used to. I'm down 100 pounds. There's a whole nother me that got lost. It made me lose train of thought. I had a whole. Anyway, you can go to Twitter. You can go to Clapper. You can join us on Clapper and join the family on Clapper, and you can donate to us and help us out. It's just $1 a month, and believe me, that $1 will help immensely.
Yep.
If people sign on to that. Also, continue to like, subscribe, share,
comment.
click it, comment. If you want to get on and you want to talk to this man, if you want to find out what he thinks on different, answers for different questions from the Bible, life advice, he is a pastor. I view him as a good pastor. I mean, that's for everybody else to decide. But you can email him. His email address is on the website for the church, which the website is in the link tree. You see where I'm going with this? Follow the train. Then also, if you happen to be in South Jersey on a Sunday around 10 o'clock, actually, I'd say 9:45. It's better to come early.
That's true.
Okay, so you can get a good seat. All right. But anyway, because we're not like Catholics. You can't buy your seat ahead of time.
Well, I mean, they could if they wanted to. It's not going to change anything.
No.
How much is it for that seat? How much you want to give me for it? $100? Okay, great.
And next week, somebody's
sitting there be like, well, I thought that was my seat. It was only your seat for the day.
Yeah, right. So anyway,
day fee.
So again, if you
like $100 per day, I mean, if you want to keep giving me $100 for the seat, sure.
So if you want to come worship with us and you happen to be in South Jersey on around 10 o'clock on a Sunday, you go onto the website and you look up the address and you can come worship with us. We would be glad to have you there. Yeah. We would love to worship with you, love to pray with you, and love to get to know you and build this kingdom of God for great things that God wants to do, not only in New Jersey, but the rest of the country.
Amen.
So, y'all have a good one.
Hold on. 1 second. So, right before we close, I would just like to make a mention that it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, sir.
Not much is being spoke about it. So, just what I tell people is reach out to your friends, just see how they're doing.
Violation of bro code.
No, I don't.
Violation of bro code.
This month, you violate the bro code.
You know why it's violation of bro code?
Why?
Guys don't talk about this stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. That is the exact problem.
Look, you know what the best therapy for real bros is? Or it's not even bro code, it's dude code. Dude code violation, because I don't care about bro code. Bro codes are a bunch of sissy tools. Dude code violation, because dudes just go to a fire, throw things in it, and stare at it with their buddies. That's the best thing that guys can do.
Or you go to a gun range.
Get your or we play video games. Or in our case, or board games.
Sure, yeah.
But no, in all seriousness,
virtual terrorists. And
that is always a great look. Diablo, say what you will about the game. The best part of it is I get to kill demons the entire game. I did demon, aka Democrats. I can just think of it the whole time. It's fun.
I think you need to talk about some of your problems. I might think you might need to channel this mental awareness month.
As my mother constantly loves to say, she goes, "What am I going to do with you?" And I said, "Many a wise man on the top of many a mountain has pondered that question for centuries, and they still have no answer. So good luck."
I agree with Steve on this one. You know what? It's unspoken, and it's because men are basically told to internalize everything, and unfortunately, that's not actually factual and accurate.
I will agree that we shouldn't. I'll put it to you this way: with other men, you shouldn't internalize it.
No.
The problem is in this day and age, if you bring it out in front of women, whether they be a significant other or otherwise, most of the time, not always, there are the rare female, but most of the time they use that against you. Where dudes won't.
Nope.
What'll dudes do? Granted, we might pick on you, we might say something snarky to you, but at the same time, we're there.
Yep.
And part of our way of dealing with things, let's just be honest, we have a sick sense of humor. It's part of the way we deal with things.
Which is not healthy.
No, it actually is healthy.
I don't think being mean or something like that is in there. But
I'm not saying be mean to each other. I said we have a sick sense of humor. We'll make jokes about it.
Like we make fart jokes
Because
girls don't make fart jokes.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
But tell me one time if you were depressed and you heard a fart joke that it didn't bring you out of that.
Look, one of my favorite.
Not all the time.
Sometimes,
dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes a good fart joke will get you out.
Or if somebody just comes up to you and just says 69. We're all children. We're all children.
Really?
We're children.
Really?
Look, he grinned.
Really? Really?
Yes, we're children.
Cannot.
Okay.
Cannot.
Look, my new favorite taco place. I love what's on the wall of their place. It says depressed with a question mark. It says nobody ever cried while eating tacos. I agree. You are my new favorite taco place. Also, they play worship music in there, and so I love being able to worship with God while eating tacos. But anyway, like I said, yes, men get with other men, get with men.
5 men an hour take their own lives. 5 men an hour. So just
I would believe that's more. Because
it's roughly around that, and it's been going up.
The reason why I would say more than that, because it's like 7, even though you see the t-shirts for like 20 something a day when it comes to veterans, that number for veterans is way higher, and most of those veterans are male. So I would say it's more than 5 an hour on that, unless they're going on strictly 5 civilian men, like they're not even counting the veterans in it because they're a different class.
They're probably not counting them.
And not
but I would almost say that 5
stat, just to be clear.
Yes,
that's
correct.
a world stat, and again, it's that doesn't minimize it and it doesn't change it. But I think it's awesome. I think it's also important that you understand that men in this country have a lot more going for them than men do in any other country.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And
until they're told to cut off their wee-wee.
Well, no, but hey. What are you doing down here?
Woo, Chinese food.
All right. Well, we just got a visitor, and on that note, we can end this show. But
right.
But I will sign off and say,
dude.
God bless, and we will keep all the men in prayer this month, and keep you guys
peace.
Talk to your friend and your neighbor.
Yep, and peace.
Can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or labor rules, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America,